All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Carolina Panthers. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On 2nd down, Elliott. He takes us from the 30 to the 34.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and run forward with Elliott. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
A first down carry by Elliott. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Martinez now to throw on 3rd down. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. A good pickup there, a 22.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they're...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, he might be a little jumpy as well. It might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
Let's go! Brad 38! Brad 38!
Martinez looking to throw on 2nd down. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is When they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them, in a sense, and gotten the ball from them.
After the interception, here's Griffin. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after him.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Chidobe Awuzie there to make the play in coverage. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
From midfield now, here's Griffin. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. Elliott a first down and more. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Here's Martinez throwing on first down, being chased out left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Now Martinez to throw again. He'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Nckinnis St. Brown. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in, and it's hard to defend.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Now Griffin. And the Cowboys Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. McCaffrey following the penalty, and he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. On 2nd down, here's Griffin. And the pressure getting to RG3. He's brought down for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long. Third and long. It's Griffin. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Throwing to start the drive. Martinez steps away to his left. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 35. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So the false start will back them up 5. And that'll set them back 5. A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
The Panthers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw is RG3. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Another one for his trophy case. I mean, it's rare enough for a lineman to have one interception. He had one last week and now back-to-back weeks.
It's absolutely amazing, isn't it, watching it happen? And how about the joy that you see in him back-to-back weeks getting interceptions? He's going to be telling the defensive backs, I'm coming your way from now on, guys.
Yeah, take it easy. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's the backup Prescott. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. The Cowboys on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And they'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
This is McCaffrey on the give. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, McCaffrey. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. Pitching it out to McCaffrey. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now they'll throw it with Griffin. Forced out to his left. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Christian Kirk, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down.
46.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. 19 yards that time for number 19.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
2nd down, Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Andrews. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Prescott now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Prescott. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And again, it's Prescott. Flush to his right. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. To the air again, Prescott. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This will be a 37-yard attempt. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On second down, Griffin. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The Panthers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Slow. Z.
From the shotgun, Griffin. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on third down. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Ready. 319. Z.
Now Griffin on 2nd down. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Out of the gun, Griffin. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
Well, that's just simply not right. To make that kind of a catch, that spectacular, and not get a first down out of it.
I guess he could put it on his personal highlight reel, however.
Yeah, he'll get the catch, he'll get the yardage, but he doesn't get what he really wants.
And Gano's kick is right through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Prescott on first down. And his throw is incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. A give to Elliott. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll run with Mack. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Let's go. Let's finish now. It's coming now. Let's go 47. Sweat. Sweat is 8. Sweat. Sweat is 8.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Flushed out right. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, And we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for. Now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take them out of the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Ready. 319. 319.
To throw on 2nd down. Griffin. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. 5 yards on the pickup. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way we can get it done.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Prescott now.
Let's talk about football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. The give is to Elliott. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, Elliott. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And that one good for 16 yards and a 1st.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Now Prescott escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off down at the 10. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people would think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Third and long. It's Griffin. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Well, they've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check. They're a little too close for comfort.
And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one. But maybe this penalty, this pass interference call, that can help shake them loose.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. That one 28 yards on the ground. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
Back to the ground on first, it's McCaffrey. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. From the gun, it's Griffin. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's fourth.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. To throw is Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Bottom line, 2-yard gain's just not going to cut it in this situation. You've got to move the ball downfield in order to have a chance.
Defense will give them that the rest of the way. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. They'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Back to it after the pick 6. Prescott. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Prescott now on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 2. Here's Prescott. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll run it with Elliott. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Prescott to throw it.
It's 4th and 2, and you know the defense is going to stack the line of scrimmage. So you have to be definite about your...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off down near the 5. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Panthers, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday afternoon at around 3:30 Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.